just what I mean. You too, team, keep it clean. You see my boy, he like gotta made it. Boy, that's my homie, ain't that right engraving? Shout out to Ingravenvids.
Oh boy, wow. You team, keep it clean. Wow, this has been not even just a morning, but a week. This has been quite the week with content creation, even though I hate that word. Just now, about an hour ago, I started recording episode number 17 of the Team Keep It Clean podcast. But I know you realize, and you're looking at the title of this, like, hold up, this is episode 17, though. And yes, it is, because I was recording it, and we were literally 33 minutes in. Oh, it was going great, too. But then the power went out for 2 seconds. The power went out for 2 seconds, and I have a desktop. So that cut off, everything cut off, and I restarted the computer. And there have been a lot of times when the what I use to record and edit and all that stuff, it will automatically save the work, and then if like the computer cuts off, it'll turn back on and be like, do you want to open the last project you were working on? And I'm like, yeah, when I open the last project I was working on, so I opened the last project I was working on, and it'll be like, boom, it's there. But it didn't do that this time. It didn't say anything. I turned the computer back on, and I loaded up the program, and I was waiting, I was hoping, like, okay, hopefully they give me that reminder. Oh, do you want to continue working on this project? Nothing. So everything was gone, and that is, if you've ever worked on anything, and you don't even have to be like you ain't even got to do YouTube or whatever. It could be like that in school. It could be like that for work. I know my guy Cam, he was saying that it happened to him when he was recording a project for work, and it all shut down. But he said the second take, it ended up being even better. So with this one, I don't know if it's gonna work out like that, but it's all good. And then even a couple days ago, I recorded a video. 2 days ago, I had recorded a video. So it's about 15 minutes long, and we're going in depth, in detail with all these different Ravens games and stuff. And then I went to edit the video. Then I saw that the mic, the audio was all messed up. And I was like, wow. So then I fixed it, and then went to record another video. Recorded it in depth, in detail about the Ravens and the playoff scenarios and all that. Then I saw the audio was all messed up. And I was like, oh my goodness. Oh, it was frustrating, man. That's a different type of frustration. But again, there's worse things that could happen. That's just content creation problems. But it is what it is. So we're here now. Take two. Take two for episode 17. But I do appreciate y'all, man, for real. I appreciate you all listening to this podcast. I appreciate you all just sharing how you feel about different things that we talk about on here. Of course, different things that we talk about on the Ingravenvids channel. Just thank you for supporting. I just still think it's crazy. It's even crazy on here. This channel, well, if you're listening to it on YouTube, but this podcast channel, we have like 600. A little over 600 subscribers right now. So sometimes it's just weird to me, man. Like that people not even weird. It's just crazy how people they give you an opportunity, and that's probably what I'm appreciative of the most, is that over 600 people for the podcast, and whether you listen to this on Spotify, Apple, or whatever you listen to this on, I appreciate you all giving me the opportunity to talk with you about just life. Because we talk football on here, but it's just life. And the same way on the Ingravenvids channel, we it's crazy that over 35,000 people, they decided to press that subscribe button and give us an opportunity just to talk with them, just to sit down and talk football. And of course, a lot of times it does get a little personal on there too. But we just talking, and I appreciate that that opportunity, and that people, because they're not just giving you an opportunity, people are also giving you their time. They're giving you their time of day, and we're all super busy. Things are super crazy, but for people to actually be willing to give you their time, it's just something crazy to think about, but something that I definitely appreciate like crazy. So thank you for that. This morning, I woke up a little bit late, like about 9. I think I woke up at 9:07. I think that's what it was when I woke up. Me and Carter last night, we were up late watching Fresh Prince. Like, this dude, man, that's my boy, man. Carter's my boy, man. Because we'll be watching Fresh Prince, and like he will be cracking up, like not no, Carter will be like like crazy laughing, man. Almost obnoxious laughing, but nah, he will like really be cracking up at Fresh Prince because he really, really loves the show. He loves the introduction song. He loves the theme music. He'll be doing all the dances and do the little spin around at the court and all that, and he'll mock the when your mama's in and go in bed late. I forgot what it says on that part. It's like one of them things that you know it when it comes on, but off the top of my head, I don't remember. Oh, you're moving with your auntie and I'm going bed late. I think that's what it was. But he knows that whole song, and he loves the show, man. He loves it. So I appreciate that about him, man. When I recorded this episode, before everything crashed, he was knocked out, and then when everything crashed, it was a bit frustrating. It wasn't the worst thing in the world that could happen, of course, but it was a little bit frustrating. But after I finished recording that, after we went through that whole thing earlier this morning, I went in there and he was awake. So I went in there and gave him a hug. He's cool, man. He's cool. I had to tell him, like, last night when we were watching it, because like I said, he was laughing, like, LOL, like, he was really LOLing, man. And I had to tell him, Carter, you got to quiet down, man. You got to quiet down because mommy's sleeping. You don't want to wake mommy up. But, yeah, mommy, she was knocked out, man. She was knocked out. And Carter was like, he's like, Dad, mommy's sleeping very loud. I said, hey, it's just one of them nights, man. She in a deep sleep and really knocked out. Happened to the best of us. But she got a lot of energy right now, so yeah, she got some good sleep last night. So good for her. But anyway, Carter, man, I am very happy for him, and I think we're happy for each other. But that he's on his winter break right now. And what's crazy is that I thought that his winter break. Today, I'm recording this on Thursday, December 24th. It's 11:56 a.m. right now. I thought that his winter break, I thought it started on Wednesday. So I originally thought it started after. I thought they were going to have school yesterday. And then, I thought it was going to start today. I thought yesterday was going to be the last day of school, December 23rd. But my mom was over here last weekend, and she was like, oh, isn't he on winter break? And I was like, no, it don't start till Wednesday. And she said, no, I thought it started on Monday. So I was like, nah, I'm pretty sure it started on Wednesday. But I was like, you know what, let me just double check. So I looked, and it said that it started on Monday. And I was like, wow, I was so happy, man. I was so happy. And then I was happy for Carter, because Carter, he loves his breaks. He loves his breaks. So that is that's a good thing. That's a great thing. And I even asked him, too. I said, Carter, I said, do you miss school at all? I asked him this a couple days ago. I said, do you miss school at all? He said, he paused for like 2 seconds and said, not at all. I said, oh, okay, no problem. And it's not that he doesn't like school, but he loves his vacations. He loves them. But with school, a lot of times, he will get bored. He'll get bored. It's not like he's behind on his assignments, anything like that. He understands everything and whatnot. And a lot of times, like, sometimes it'll be kind of scary, but it'll be like I'll be very impressed with him that it's a lot of stuff that he knows. Like, I don't even know that he knows it. until like he shows me that he knows it. And not even just with school, just in life, period. He love. It's funny because in school, like they'll be reading stuff, they'll be practicing their reading, and he'll be watching along and stuff, paying attention a little bit. Sometimes he'll be like in his own zone. But he like this dude loves to read on his own. He likes to read on his time. Like we'll be driving in the car, riding around, and I'll be wanting to listen to the music. I'll be wanting to turn the music up loud, put the windows down, just vibe, man. But then Carter, he'll grab a book and he'll start reading. I'm like, well, I can't have the music up over his book, because yeah, I do want him to enjoy reading, and I mean he needs to know how to read, because that's a big part of life. In life, you need to know how to read, and you need to know how to add and subtract, do some numbers, because when you pay for stuff, and I mean there's some other stuff too, but yeah, those are the basics. But it's funny because, like I said, he likes to read on his own time, but when he has to read, like when it's he's like almost like forced to read, then he won't be feeling it as much. But it's all good, man. He's just really proud of him, man. Really, really, really proud of him. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be his father. Because, and I think I told y'all this before, I didn't meet my father until like, if Carter's 5, I didn't meet my father till like 6 years ago, I think, something like that. And like throughout my entire life, my mom, she never talked bad about him or anything, never, ever. But with him being away, he showed me everything. He showed me everything not to do. He showed me how not to be a father. He showed me exactly what not to do. And another thing too, that was big. And it didn't really like, I was never like hurt or sad or anything, like, oh man, he's not around. I just need to meet him. It was nothing like, it was always a one of those things that you can't miss what you don't know. That's how it had always been. And then when I did actually meet him, it ended up, it was weird, man, because me and my wife, we were in Atlanta. We were in Atlanta for one of her friends' weddings. Oh, I hated it too. Anyway, we were in Atlanta for one of her friends' weddings, and while we were there, like, we were like, you know what, let's go see some stuff. Let's go see it, look around, whatever. And I was like, you know what, let's go by his house, cause we had his information and stuff. And I was like, you know what, let's go by his house. Just go knock on the door, see if he's there. If he is, he is. If he's not, oh well, okay, keep it moving. So we went, drove to his house, knocked on the door, and I always talk about how timing is everything. He normally works at a barbershop, and with him working at a barbershop, when you work at a barbershop, you're there all the time. So he said today he just happened to take off because I forgot what he said he had to get done, but whatever it was. So he wasn't even supposed to be home that day, but he was. But anyway, we met him, and it was like hearing an older version of me. It was weird. It was like looking at an older version of me too. And he loved chicken wings. I love chicken wings. He loved football. He loved his Falcons. Like loved them. And of course, y'all know I love football too. But anyway, it was just so weird. But it was like, that's interesting, because it's like seeing a different version of yourself, man, for the first time. Again, because I had never known him. But then for somebody to have a certain reputation, you don't get a reputation for something you don't get a reputation for something overnight. For you to have a reputation for something, you need to be habitual at whatever it is that you're doing. It needs to be repetitive. It needs to be consistent. So that reputation that he had, in my mind as just being gone, it ended up showing itself again because we saw him, we chilled with him for that day, and then he was like, yeah, if you need anything, call me. You ever come back to Atlanta, you ever want to go to a game, let me know, da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. So that time, like, we came back to Florida, and I think it was a couple weeks after that, I was like, hey, well, this is a game that I would want to go to. And let him know I forgot what game it was. I forgot what year it was. But he was like, oh, okay, let me see. And then he's like, oh, well, I don't know if we can do this one. I don't know if we can do that game. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then he just got ghosted again. So it was one of those things where it was like, oh, I wasn't even mad, but because that had become his reputation to me, that he was just ghost, that he wasn't there. So I was like, okay, it is what it is. So I ended up deleting his number and stuff, and I was like, oh, whatever. So sometimes my wife, she's not sometimes, but she did say it a couple times. She's like, oh, well, maybe you should send him a picture of Carter or something. And I was like, no. Cause what's the point? To me, it's like, what's the point? Like, I don't have any problem with him. I'm not, I hate you. No, it ain't nothing like that. I just, not that I don't care, but I'm just like, whatever about it. But again, the point was, again, that he showed me what not to do. He showed me how not to be a father. So, in reverse, that let me know everything that I needed to do and wanted to do and had looked forward to doing when I had a kid of my own. And with Carter, that's what it is. That's what it is. We have a lot of fun, and I'm just super appreciative because I even see some of my friends, like really all of my friends that I grew up with, they I just realized that none of them, like my closest friends, none of them were close with their dads. None of them. They like knew them or whatever. But I'm just thinking about it like right now. None of them. I'm thinking about my boy Jerome. Nope. My boy Mando. Nope. Terrence. Nope. They were not close with their dads. But then I watched them with their kids. They in their kids' lives heavy, and like literally too, cause they all big. But they are in their kids' lives heavy. So I didn't even think about that until just now. But it's a nice thing to see that, man, because it's just your relationship with your kid, man. It's special, man. It's special. So I give it up to my mom, man, because being a parent, like I see, and Carter's just 5. You gotta have the ultimate level of patience. Cause you love your kid, man. You love your kid, but you gotta have the ultimate level of patience. And I say with Carter, this takes a lot of patience. But I know my mom with me, oh boy, that took a million more times the patience that we gotta have with Carter with me. Cause boy, I know I was a problem, man, in a million different ways, man. Oh boy, I hope Carter never does any of the things that I did. But anyway, I appreciate my mom because she, yeah, man, she held it down. Like I said, never complained at all. And then in the long run, ended up his actions spoke louder, than his words. And he, like, again, his reputation, it was there for me, not based off of anything my mom said or did. Cause like I said, she ain't say or do anything, but his reputation was already in my head. Like, okay, this guy, he gone. He not there. I don't know him. He don't know me. And then when I finally met him, same thing happened. So, again, couldn't be mad. Wasn't even hurt. It was just one of them things where it is what it is. And that's exactly what it was. So, Carter, we probably gonna end up going to the park later today or something. We'll see, because the weather outside is nice. Whew. I know a lot of y'all up north, man, and all the snow and stuff. I am not jealous of that at all. I don't miss snow. I don't want to see snow. My wife keep talking about, oh, I want to see snow. I don't want to see no snow. I told you want to see snow, go use the ice maker in the freezer, man, and go make it that way. But I don't want to see no kind of snow. I don't like when it gets cold. No, man, just don't like it. I'm sure Carter would be. I'm sure snow would be cool for him to see, but I feel like he would get over it like fast. Like, he'd be like, okay, what's next? He played with it for a little bit, jump in it and all that. He'd probably try to eat it, but I think he would get over it pretty quick. But maybe one day, we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, in the football world, because this has been quite a week. I know we just sort of, it wasn't even a segue involved. But in the football world, where do we even start? We'll start with Juju. Because some people made some very, very good points to me about Juju, because we did the video about how Juju said, I'm not dancing anymore. I'm not dancing on logos anymore. I'm done with it. That's a wrap. Okay, cool, Juju. All right, whatever. But for me, I was saying that, yeah, I know it's disrespectful to be on an opposing team's logo and all that. But I was like, in this day and age, especially with when a lot of fans aren't there. Fans aren't there at the stadium. So this is entertainment. We could use that extra little spice, where Juju could be sort of like the bad guy. We could use that. Because again, NFL's all about them ratings, man. So I was like, okay, if it's disrespect, let Juju keep dancing. And then if it's that disrespectful, it'll be dealt with. It'll be dealt with on the field. The opposing team, is their job to take care of it. If Juju's doing all that, okay, take care of it. I know Tanja, she had commented and she said, Ingraven, see, I don't agree. She's like, it's like somebody coming into your house and being disrespectful, like stomping on your couch or spitting on your food. I forgot exactly what she said, but she said it's something like having somebody over your house and they disrespectful. And I said, well, it's up to you to kick them out the house. Then that's up to you. And so she understood then. And I think that's when we got on the same page about it. And that's like, hey, with the NFL, with the opposing teams, it's up to them. And Bengals, they took care of business. They kicked Juju out their house. So I got it. But some people made some really good points. And some stuff that I didn't think about. Cause like I said, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And I was like, him dancing is not the cause of the Steelers losing games. It's really not. It's not. But some people made some really good points, and they were like, but it's it makes the moment all about him, and that's not team. And I was like, oh, okay. I get that. I get that. Cause I was like, cause it does. Cause he's all on the logo, dancing and stuff, doing all that stuff, and that takes away from team and puts it on him. And I was like, okay. Now I get it. I know my guy Jeff, he was like, no, that's not cool, it's not disrespectful. He was like, you think if Ray Lewis or Ed Reed or something like that, if they were playing, you think somebody would be dancing on a logo like that? And I was like, well, that's true, but right now it ain't no Ray Lewis's out there right now. And it just seems like that aspect of football is not in there right now. It's toned down a lot. Cause you don't really have that true tough guy like that, man. You don't really. It's just different now. It's just different. But it is what it is. And my guy Jeff said, well, yeah, now he's not. He's like, now NFL is just all about TikTok and flowers. I said, okay. But it is what it is. But this is why I really, 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 really appreciate y'all. Because we have different viewpoints on stuff, but you all share how you feeling about something respectfully. And about 9.9 out of 10 people do. You share your opinion respectfully. I love that, and I appreciate it like crazy, because it makes the world of a difference, man. It makes the world of a difference. And it's just, again, that respect factor. And that's what I always say, man. I don't care if you like what I have to say, cool. If you don't like what I have to say, that's cool too. If you agree with me, cool. If you don't agree with me, that's fine too. I don't mind either way. But just as long as you share whatever your opinion is, respectfully. That's it. That's the only thing I care about. And like I said, 9.9 times out of 10, people do that. So I appreciate it. So thank y'all for that. And like, cause it was a lot of, and one thing that's funny though, that a lot of people do. They will, and I can understand, because in this day and age, well, just period, a lot can get mixed up when it comes to text. When it comes to you reading something versus you actually hearing somebody say it or seeing them say it. So, and there have been times when I've been confused. Like I've been looking in the comments, like I don't know if this person is serious or if they're joking, if they're angry, if they're happy. I won't be able to tell sometimes. And I'm sure in some of my replies too, some people may think the same thing. Now me, I can't get mad over no comment. I can't, because it would just be a waste of energy. Because it's like, why would I get mad at somebody who's writing something on the internet? And while I do value people's opinions, and that's why we feature people's opinions, like for questions from subscribers and stuff, even some comments will stick out to me, and I will give those people that commented certain things their credit in the videos and stuff. Like if they made a really good point, I'd be like, wow, I wasn't even thinking about that. And we may bring it up in another video or whatnot. But as far as like maybe like an angry or rude comment or something like that, I can't get mad at that, because it's like 9 times out of 10 is, well, actually 10 times out of 10 is gonna be somebody that I do not know. They do not know me personally. So that takes the element of really caring out of it. So I just can't take it personal. That's what I mean. Like, and I'm not gonna let people just disrespect me on the channel or anything like that. Like y'all know me. Like me and the block button. Oh, we best friends. We best friends. We are best friends. So I don't mind, like before, like a long time ago, cause I would just, before I would be hesitant, cause I'd be like, oh man, I don't want to lose a subscriber, and I'll be so worried about that. But you can't, man. You cannot worry about that. You can't. But cause now, okay, bye, boom, blocked. That's me all day. And not when people being rude, but just when if somebody being disrespectful though. Rude, no problem, whatever. I be rude sometimes too. I gotta work on it a lot. But rude, no problem. But disrespectful, problem. That's a problem. And what we try to teach on here is for people not to be disrespectful. We can have conversations, we can have disagreements, we can have debates on this and that. We can do that all day. But we're gonna do it respectfully. That's it. So it ain't no big deal. But what's funny, something that I always get a kick out of, man, it's like, and I can understand why people do it. Like I said, because a lot of stuff gets lost in text. A lot of intent gets lost in text, because the person texting, they may be thinking one thing, but the recipient of that text or that comment, they may read it and be like, oh, wait a minute. But anyway, I love when people say, and it's funny because they'll be like, oh, I love your videos, but I disagree. I'll be thinking like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. They'd be like, oh, I love you, but I don't agree with that. I'm like, that's okay. And it's like, it's always funny, but at the same time, like I said, I understand why people write that, because of the time that we're in right now. Well, just period. Not even just the time that we're in, but just how things can be interpreted. And like, because some people may feel like if they write that they disagree, then that makes them a hater or something like that, or they may feel like it's being rude. I don't think that. It all depends on how you word stuff, because you can disagree with somebody, but you can word it so respectfully where it's like, okay, no problem. And that happens to me a lot on here. Well, I will be, well, not on here, but on the Ingravenvids channel, where we'll be talking about something, and somebody they'll say they disagree, but then they'll put why, and they'll explain it. And I'll be like, oh, okay, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. Because I appreciate that, man. I appreciate when people can disagree without being nasty, without name calling, without just being disrespectful. I love that because it makes it a conversation. It makes it a conversation to where they can share their points about whatever. I can share my points about whatever. And we can learn from each other. So I appreciate that a lot. So shout out to those of y'all that do that. Like it reminded me of Brett Coleman. Man, that dude, I love his videos. Brett Coleman, and he's super X's and O's kind of guy. He is great at what he does. He is amazing at what he does. He has like 275,000 subscribers. But with him, the only thing I do not like about Brett Coleman's videos is that he doesn't do more. That's it. Other than that, I love his videos, man. Love his video. The quality is perfect. The camera, the angles, the ads that he puts on it, or the sponsorships and whatnot, is perfect. It's great, man. And his breakdowns, you can tell he loves what he does. He loves what he does. But something that he also does on there, I ain't got no problem with it. I don't care. He sometimes he's drinking on the camera. Not like drinking crazy or anything or getting drunk or da-da-da. He makes a drink and he'll be drinking it throughout the video. Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. So, but some people, because again, you can't please everybody. Some people are just going to find a way to complain about everything. Because some people just want to complain. And sometimes people have legitimate complaints. Other times, some people they may just be cranky pants that day. And they may just need a nap or something, and they online at the wrong time, and they got a lot of negative stuff going on, and they don't have anybody to vent to, or they got a lot of negative stuff going on, and they just want to lash out at somebody. They want to take it out on somebody else. But I think this is what was happening with him. I mean, we see it a lot of times on the channel. So, and we only got 35,000 subscribers. So I could imagine somebody with 275,000 subscribers. And so that's 275,000 different opinions, different perspectives, different mindsets. Oh, woo, that's a lot, man. So you could imagine the comments on some of the videos, man. But anyway, like, and my biggest thing, there's some people that would just complain, and that's all they do. They will complain without giving any positive feedback. They will, and it won't even be constructive criticism. It'll just be complaints. Constructive criticism, I get that 1,000%. But just complaining and that's it. If you're just gonna complain, don't even watch. That's how I feel, because I see it. I've seen it on my channel. I've seen it on other people's channel where people would just be habitual complainers. If you're gonna just complain, don't watch. It's an easy fix, super easy fix. But back to Brett Coleman, what somebody said. I think this was on Reddit, I believe, but he had put this on his Twitter. Somebody said this dude should go spit out another video of him pouring whiskey into a glass for 15 minutes. Now with that, I don't know if that was sarcastic or not. It sounded like it was. So it sounded like it could have been a little jab at him. I'm not sure. But whatever. So somebody put, this dude should go spit out another video of him pouring whiskey into a glass for 15 minutes. And somebody replied to that, and they said, yeah, as soon as he started being an alcoholic on camera, I lost interest. I watched for player evaluation and defense scouting reports, not someone drinking. You know, this is the internet. Internet is where everybody, well, not everybody, but so many people feel entitled that they feel entitled to tell you how to do your thing. That would probably be the best way that I can describe this. The internet is a place where people feel entitled to tell you how you should do your thing. But anyway, he talked about this, and he said on Twitter, he said, I don't drink on camera because I'm an alcoholic. He said, I have a drink on camera to help quell my crippling anxiety about anonymous people, and I had to put that team keep it clean, because he didn't use the word people. But he said, I have a drink on camera to help quell my crippling anxiety about anonymous people like this guy seeing me talk football in person. He said, I hid behind voiceover for years. That first drink on camera helped me to be me, and it stuck. So he was saying that him drinking on camera, he's saying it helps him be a little more comfortable and helps his personality come through on the videos, and it helps him deal with people like that who will comment stuff like that, who say stuff like that, and anonymous people that'll talk about him. They won't put a name behind it or anything like that. Just anonymous people, and that's the internet, man. People, everybody feels, the internet gives everybody a voice, which, okay, no problem, but it's like a good and a bad thing all at the same time. Because a lot of the voices on there will be used in a negative light. So that's just, that's part of the game, man. And it's unfortunate, man, and again, he said he deals with anxiety about stuff like that. And he said he was on voiceover for years. So what voiceover is, that's when it's just pictures. It's just pictures or video. It's not your actual face. It's just your voice. And that's it. And like, when you think about it, it can be very weird to actually initially. It can be very weird to get in front of a camera and talk, and everybody can't do that. It can be very uncomfortable. It's something that it definitely takes a lot of getting used to. But with him, he said he hid behind that for years, so he was uncomfortable being on camera. And now, so that obviously means that it's taken him a lot to be comfortable on camera. And I mean, to me, he seems very comfortable on camera. But again, it's a process. But he said it's taken him a long time to get comfortable on camera, because he got anxiety. He gets anxious over seeing like comments like that, seeing people talk about him like that. So it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate that people have to go through stuff like that, because people are people. But I love Brett Coleman stuff. I love his videos, man. And then he followed that up. He said, I could easily do camera stuff without drinks now, because my anxiety is better. The people enjoyed that opening, and it became part of the show. So now I do it for fun. There's like a million other film channels now. And that's true. A lot of people make channels breaking down film. And he said, cocktails make mine different. If you don't like that, I don't care. Goodbye. And again, I had to clean that up. But that reminded me of something. I saw somebody said, and this would be something that would be very hard for me to do. And I know some YouTubers do it. But for me, I don't like it. And I don't think it will ever get to that point where I do that. But somebody replied to him, and they said, to quote Joe Rogan, don't read the comments, post and ghost. So meaning, post your video, don't even look at the comments. And I can understand why somebody would say that, because a lot of people on YouTube can be very, very toxic. And I know that word gets used so much and it gets tossed around so much, but it is a perfect word to use, because it's true. A lot of people can be very toxic on YouTube. They can be very toxic, very negative. Again, sometimes some people, they got stuff that they're dealing with and they want to take it out on somebody else. And they're like, oh, you know what? YouTube, open forum, boom. I'm about to be in somebody's comment section. So, but it's just, I wouldn't want to do that, because I like looking at comments, because they give me different ideas. There's different things to talk about. Some people, like I said earlier, they make some very, 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 very good points. Great points. Some people say some funny stuff. So I just, and then of course you got your negative people as well. Like just straight negative. Not disagreeing. Disagreeing is not negative, but you got people that's just straight negative, and that's it. But the post and ghost, that'd be tough, man. But again, you could understand why certain people do it. If you do suffer from anxiety, then that would be, that'd be tough for doing YouTube and you have your comments on. Because it's always gonna be something. It's always gonna be somebody. It's always, especially if your channel like 275,000 subscribers, man. That's a lot, man. That's a lot, man. So that's a lot of people just feeling different ways about different things, man. But that got to be tough to deal with. So, anyway, I just hope everything is good with Brett. I hope he continues to do his thing online. I hope he continues to just kill it, man. Like I said, the only thing I don't like about his channel, man, is that he doesn't do more videos. That's the only thing. It's the only thing. But that's me. Cause I just, with people whose videos I do enjoy watching, it's not frustrating. It's just like, oh man, make some more. But it's all good, man. You could definitely see the work that goes into his videos, the quality of them. Like I said earlier, man, it is beautiful, beautiful. His setup, perfect. The background look like he does it in his living room from his kitchen table. The quality is amazing, man. Telling you, like, it is real deal. So, shout out to him, man. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Anyway, Ravens. Whew. I know there's again, no segue at all, just jumping straight into it. Oh, well, first, shout out to last week. Last week I was very happy with the NFL because the way that they structured the games, it was perfect for me because I got to see every game that I wanted to see in its entirety by itself. Because the first Sunday afternoon at 1, it was Ravens-Jaguars. Okay, boom, of course, y'all know Ravens is a priority. But then after that, at 4:30, it was Chiefs and Saints. And I really wanted to see that game, and that ended up being a really good one. And then following that, Sunday Night Football was Browns and Giants. I really wanted to see that game. And I just, I was frustrated, very frustrated with the Giants. But I got to see that game too. And then Monday, it was Steelers and Bengals. Now, it doesn't always work out like that. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Where I get to actually see everybody play that I want to see play. I wish it could work like that, but again, y'all know. And one thing that's funny too is that, and I mean, I do appreciate it though. I really appreciate it. But one thing that's kind of funny is how fans of different teams, they'll be like, hey, why you didn't do the video covering this game? Why you didn't talk about this game? Why you didn't talk about that game? But they don't realize that usually when the Ravens are playing, like, that's it. I'm locked into that. That's it. Then, of course, we'll talk about that game, and sometimes I get footballed out. But anyway, I notice it's funny because the most people that I see do that or see comment that would be Chiefs fans. It'll be Chiefs fans. And it's funny because one time, I forgot what his name was, but there was a Chiefs fan who was like, oh, well, I see, you only talked about the Chiefs when they were losing, but now that we're winning, you don't say anything about them. And I'm like, hold up, like, these dudes, they lost one game. They only lost one game. So they have not been losing at all. They ain't been losing. They don't have no pattern of losing this season at all. But with enough Chiefs games, they would get, they will be being played at the same time Ravens are playing, and some other teams too, because there will be, like I said, some other fans of other teams. Hey, why you didn't talk about this game today? Why you didn't talk about that one? And we, even if I could, I wouldn't watch every football game, because I've been needing a break sometimes, man. But I do, like I said, I appreciate the fact that people do say that, because to me, I take it as that they do value your opinion. They value what you have to say about their team. They want to hear it, maybe from somebody different other than a beat writer for their team, or somebody different other than an actual fan of their team. They may just want to hear it from somebody different. So I do seriously appreciate that. 'Cause like I said, it's funny, but again, I look at the background of it and like, okay, I respect that, man. So anyway, it was fun being able to watch all three of those games. The Chiefs and Saints game. It was a little bit of frustration in that when I was like, wow. Really on that play right before halftime with Anzalo, number 47 for the Saints, when DeMarcus Robinson, who, again, this is why I got to look at the comment section, because somebody made a really good point with that, something that I hadn't thought about. With DeMarcus Robinson, that punt that the Chiefs got right before halftime, he was a punt returner on the Chiefs. He caught the ball, and he started running backwards. He was just trying to get that big play instead of just making a safe play right before halftime. And since he was trying to make that big play, he ended up fumbling the ball. and he fumbled the ball, and it went into the end zone. And number 47 from the Saints, he tried to recover it. He jumped on it, then it ended up going through his hands or something. Then it went in out of the back of the end zone. Ended up being a safety, but the Saints, I think, lost the game by 3. And right then and there, instead of them getting 6 points for a touchdown recovered in the end zone, they ended up getting 2 points. So that was a 4-point swing. So that was that ended up being so huge in the game, in the final outcome of the game. But I screamed loud when that happened. I was like, oh man, you ain't get it. I was just like, oh boy. But yeah, somebody in the comment section said DeMarcus Robinson, that was not a smart play by him. By him just trying to make such a big play, because he ended up costing his team. But yeah. And then the next game, the Browns and Giants. I think this has been the most frustrating game to watch as somebody who's not invested in either team. Well, definitely invested in the Browns because they're AFC North, and we like right there with them, and so we got to watch them closely. But with the Giants, I don't care about the Giants. But I do. I was hoping that they would pull off the upset, but then watching them and it was frustrating watching them because I'm like, wow, they really doing this? What are they doing? Because they were moving the ball, especially in the first half. They were moving the ball, and then they would just do foolish stuff. They would do foolish stuff when they got like on fourth down. They instead of taking their points, they would just do this goofy stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then they said that Freddie Kitchens was taking over for Jason Garrett, and I was like, oh, okay, got it. But yeah, because they missed out on so many opportunities. Like I think even going into halftime, I think the score was like 14-0 or 14-3, something like that. But it could have been 14-9. It could have been a one-score game. But since they were like being goofy, it wasn't. But anyway, it was frustrating to see that. And then of course the Bengals and Steelers game. I thought that game was just gonna be a blowout. I thought Steelers was gonna take care of business. No, Bengals had a chance, but I was like, nah, they ain't got nothing to worry about. But they, Steelers lost. And I remember when the game was 10-0, I was like, yeah, I know Steelers be starting off slow. Their offense be a little wishy-washy, but I was like, yeah, they'll come back. They take care of business. Then I kept watching the game and kept watching. And I was like, oh. Then close to the end, I thought they were going to come back, and it just didn't happen. I was like, wow, Bengals did it. And Steelers fell for the trap. And I know a lot of times people ask me, when they hear me talk about trap games on the channel, they be like, what is a trap game? What's a trap game? And to me, I think a trap game is when there's one team, the high and mighty team, a team that's highly favored, especially over the team that they're going up against. When they just got things rolling, they got things clicking, they're a much better team. And they go up against a much lesser team, a team that has a bad record. They just a bad team, been playing bad. They may have lost a bunch of starters or whatnot. Maybe not even necessarily, but they're just a really bad team. And that really bad team ends up beating that really good team. I think that's a trap. That's a trap game. That's the definition of falling into a trap game. The trap game is just a much lesser opponent versus a much stronger opponent. And Ravens, they better not fall for the trap game these next 2 weeks against the Giants or the Bengals. Because then it'll be a much different conversation. We'll be talking about offseason a little bit earlier than we want to. So, hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't think it will. And one thing that we've talked about, too, with Lamar Jackson, ever since he's been a quarterback, Ravens haven't fallen for the traps. They have not fallen for the traps. So, that's been a beautiful thing. And even I know some people are thinking, oh, was the Patriots game earlier this year a trap game? I don't think it was, because one, you're going against Bill Belichick, but two, you're going against this team that back then, I think their record was 6-5. No, it wasn't that deep into the season. I forgot what it was. Maybe they were 3-5. I forgot what it was. But the games that they had lost were so close. They were so close. So close. And if they just had 30 more seconds on the clock, if they just made one more play down the stretch, then they could have won those games. But their games had been, the games that it ain't like they was out here getting blown out every week. But their games were close. Definition of a trap game, where the team fell for the trap, Rams and Jets. Perfect definition. Rams, playoff team, NFC, sort of powerhouse, more so on defense. Rams fighting for first in their division. Rams, that playoff team, like I said, and Jets, winless team. A winless team, and look, Jets won. They beat the Rams. Trap game. Rams fell for the trap. And then, yeah, like we said, we talked about the Steelers game too. Now with the Ravens. Ravens. Hope is still alive for them to make it to the playoffs. They are still in this thing, which is a beautiful thing, and it's exciting. It's exciting. So yeah, 2 games left. We made a video talking about the different ways that they can make it in. And you know what's crazy? We didn't even cover every single way. We covered how the Colts can help, how Steelers can help, Browns, Titans, Dolphins too. A little bit about Raiders, but there's still a few more scenarios too. But that's when things get very tricky. But we covered all the basic stuff. So hopefully we don't even have to worry about it getting tricky. It'd be a beautiful thing if the Raiders just beat the Dolphins this week and Ravens also win out. That would be great. That would be great. That would be stupendous. But we'll see what happens with that. They definitely got themselves in this mess. So it's going to be up to them to get out of it. It's going to be up to them to get out of it. And this is nobody's fault but their own. They lost all them games to the Titans, to the Patriots, to the Chiefs. Ooh, yikes. To the Steelers twice. They lost all them games, not anybody else. So they put themselves in the situation that they are in. And they can't even help themselves all the way. They can do everything that they possibly can. And it could still end up being not good enough. But hope is still alive because Ravens could get some help. So go Raiders this week. Go Steelers this week. Who else? Go Jets this week. It'd be really nice if we could get like a lot of help, so we could get like a little bit of cushion in there. That would be great. That would be great. But we'll see. So, but yeah, again, Ravens can't fall for the trap, man. Whether it's Daniel Jones, Colt McCoy, they can't fall for the trap. They got to be on point. And then, of course, against Ryan Finley and those Bengals in Week 17, they can't fall for the trap. They got to be on point. It's crazy, and it's very sad that it's already Week 16, man. Oh, that's very sad. It's already Week 16. We got this week and next week left for the regular season. Then that's it. That's it. Then we get through playoffs, Super Bowl, then boom. That's it. Then we run it back. Football season is the best, but it goes by the fastest. But it is certainly the best. But it flies by. It flies by. And we're gonna do our best. This is gonna be I think this is gonna be our 3rd off season doing this full time, I believe. Yeah. I believe this is gonna be our 3rd off season doing this full time. So we'll get through the off season together. For those of you that are new to the off season, well, more so on the Ingravenvids channel, this will be the first off season with the podcast. But for those of you that are new, we make it through the off season. Nothing's gonna change with the channel. We still got plenty of videos and all that stuff for y'all, so we still gonna have a lot of fun. It'll be a different kind of fun, but it's still gonna be a lot of fun, and we'll make it through this thing together. And it's crazy because I remember last year. Because after the playoffs, it was like, oh boy. Then okay, Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Like, congrats to Kansas City. Then boom, you get the free agency. Okay, free agency. Yeah, let's go. Then you get to the draft, and it's like, okay, draft, let's go. Okay, who you gonna draft? We draft them. We get through the draft. Boom. And then after the draft, it's like, you're looking around, you're waiting, you're just waiting it out. Okay, what's gonna happen next? Is anything gonna happen? Well, you just gotta wait. You gotta wait till mini camps and all that. Then you gotta wait till training camp. And after the draft is usually into April. So after that, May, June, and then July. July comes with training camps, and yeah. So that 2 months, it's we like I said, we're gonna get through it together though, man. We're gonna get through it together. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. So don't even worry about it. But you got to get through the regular season, and then Ravens get through the playoffs, and Ravens get to the Super Bowl and all that. So hopefully this offseason we'll be doing a lot of celebrating. We'll be talking about how this team can get to the Super Bowl again. But how the team can win a Super Bowl again. Hopefully we be having that conversation of, okay, Ravens, okay, how can we get number 4 now? Can we go back to back? But we'll see, man. We'll see. That'll be fun. But anyway, hey, team, keep it clean. I love y'all. I really do appreciate you all listening. Thank you again for giving me the opportunity to take some of your time when you do listen to these podcasts. Not only the podcast, but also when you listen to the videos on the YouTube channel as well. Thank you all. I really do appreciate you all for this opportunity. And thank you for being consistent too, for listening consistently, and just showing a whole lot of love on the channel. So thank you for that. I love y'all, and we out till the next episode.
Shout out to Ingravenvids.